So here is a Nitto rear rack, Nitto, that I'm not sure if my stays are long enough. It doesn't appear to be long enough. So we'll go see if the ones I have in the bins are long enough. Once again, the bins provide. They even have good stainless hardware in the ends. Oh, dropped a stay. Oh man, my back. Might have to take a break here in a minute, folks. Let's see what we can do here. It just keeps getting worse. Uh-oh, I'm gonna pull this one through in a sec. So I have a feeling we're gonna run into the same problem with the chain down here. It looks like we're gonna get some interference. Found a shorter bolt. Not sure if it's short enough. Oh, come on. Okay, so I got these stays going. All right. Loosen that up. So this rack has a lot of adjustability to it. Something like yacht. It's never easy, is it? It's always worth it. You know, like, how tall do I want it to be? There's got to be a happy medium with these stays. And then these guys need to do their thing too. And do I go inside or outside? I think I go inside. You know, the deal is, right now I'm kind of starving a little bit. And my back is killing me. I just kind of want to eat my Chinese leftovers from last night, put a pillow under my lower back and lay back on my lazy boy and take a nap. And wake up feeling like $1,000,000. And then I want to go buy a new pair of shoes. And then chances are is I won't feel like returning to this project. So that's why I keep going. But I gotta take a break eventually here. But I am so close to having this right. Okay, so these stays need to be level and parallel, and then I can tighten these guys down. And then if you kind of bird's eye view it, we can loosen these guys. Okay, and they like to be much looser than you'd think they'd need to be. Okay. And then they're loose down there too. Oh, and then you avoid that at all costs. Okay, why is it crooked? There we go. Now we're floating in space. And if we just don't breathe, this bike is going to be great when I'm done. It's really going to be a good one. It's a little wonky that way. And then those get hacked down to size. Oh, I'm missing the washer. Where'd it go? Okay, so there is absolutely nothing at all wrong with these giant pedals. In fact, they're great pedals, but they say giant on them. And I have something against putting, like, especially major brand bike parts on a different brand bike. So I just don't like them because they say giant on them, but there's nothing wrong with giant. Also, I did do exactly as I said. I ate the rest of my pork fried rice from Ming's Garden here in town, which is really good pork fried rice. I mean, it's just really good. So that was really good. And then it always puts me to sleep. You know, MSG, I know you're all thinking it, but that's not really a thing. I watched a little Vice Grip Garage, because that's what I'm into right now. I fell asleep. Then I woke up, and hey, you remember from part 3, we need a longer bottom bracket? I found one. So we're gonna replace the bottom bracket quick. But I woke up, made myself a little cappuccino, and went to the shoe store and struck out. They didn't have my size and what I wanted, which sucked, but Maggie got 2 pairs of sandals for our trip next week. So lucky her. And we just got back. And surprisingly, I'm motivated to work on this bike again. It's really looking good, by the way. I'm pleased with it so far. I am telling you, these are the coolest and best crank bolts I've ever seen in my entire life. So if you remember, the problem is that when we're in the little ring here and the little cog in back, it pulls the chain line, comes out too far to the right outside, and then the chain rubs on the inner ring. And there's no way to really adjust the spacing to move that and compensate for it, so we just need a longer bottom bracket. Now the problem is it's a 73 millimeter bottom bracket shell, and the longest bottom bracket that I can find, like through distribution, like bike shop parts, is 122.5, which is what I've got in here. And we really need a 127.5. But I was able to find a 127.5 on Amazon coming from somewhere, and I presume it's somewhere on Earth, but I don't even know that. It just came from somewhere and ended up on my doorstep. And it says 127.5 on it. I haven't even measured it, but I'm gonna trust the numbers. And frankly, it doesn't look like it's that bad a quality or anything. I guess I don't know entirely what I'm looking at, but I'm guessing it's good enough for who it's for. It's a Neko bottom bracket part. Neko. But yeah, it's got sealed bearings, which I presume, when I realize that they suck, can just be popped out and replaced. I don't know if we can replace that other side or what. We'll see. I really should get an electric screwdriver system to just zip these things out. The amount of time I spend messing around. There you go, plea for super thanks. Somebody out there, send me a $50 super thanks so I can go get an electric screwdriver. No, a power drill, just for bottom brackets. Actually, make it 100. Don't think the other guy's gonna send it, it's gotta be you. So I still can't believe that this is a 73 millimeter bottom bracket. And I'll be dipped. There it is. Can't hardly believe it, but I got to. I am looking right at it. I just really can't believe that this isn't working. You know, it just should, but it ain't. Switch to my smaller ratchet here. It's a little easier to handle. Pardon my reach. Nope, every time. So you can see this is the cross section. Now I could have increased the spacers, but that wouldn't work. What I had to do is get this ring. I mean, maybe I could have put it on the outside of this. But then I would have had to space this differently. I don't know if I would have been, I think this is the only way I could have done it. And it's not like the ring could have been the other way. Yeah, I think the only solution is a longer bottom bracket. And I just really hope that this does the trick. Man, does that not seem like it made any difference at all. I hate bikes so much. Ow! This is dumb. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's different. Yeah? Okay. All right. Pedal forward. I mean, it's still, hold on. Hold on. It still rubs. So the reason why is because this ring is so much bigger. So this is what, a 46 I think I've got on here? Let's figure this out, guys. Let's figure it out. 42. Okay, and I think I took a 36 off. So the 36 tooth ring would have been a smaller diameter, so it wouldn't come out as far, right? And it's just the tips of the teeth are hitting the chain in spots. That's the difference, you know? The tolerances are that tight on these bikes. That's crazy to me. Oh, that looks cool. Oh, dropped the crank arm. Whew, it's got some ring-a-dingle to it too. I mean, I have the big ol', impact wrench. That's just my little one. That would have jammed her right in there. But that made quicker work of it. Oh, every time. Oh, dropped a crank bolt. Holy shit, what did I break? Okay. It's fine to do that. Just hold the crank. How tight does that get it, really? Oh, pretty good. Yeah, good and tight. So I'm taking off the metal pedals and putting on these plastic ones, right? But these are the Fixation Sub-Zero. I got them discounted for like 15 bucks at the bike swap and thought, you know, they're black and silver, they're gonna look good. I believe Fixation is Milwaukee, at least founded in Milwaukee. And we have the added bonus that these actually have flats on them, which I like. Yeah, so you get it in like third gear and you get no rubbing. And there's really no reason to ever be in those gears anyway. Okay, so that doesn't want to shift. So, I mean, I really shouldn't be shifting up into the big ring while in the big cog. You know, it's just not what we should be doing, but I'm an American. And I want the choice. I want to be able to misbehave. I need to protect my right to be an asshole. Okay? So, and then every chance I get, I'm going to try to be that asshole. You know, loud, big, huge pickup truck, that kind of thing. Okay, so I just backed out my limit screw a little bit. It's kind of like electing authoritarian leaders, where you just stretch the limit just a little bit more than the Constitution allows. And then that gets you up into that big gear. Then you can have big ring energy. The guys that are offended by that are the same guys that tell everybody else not to be offended by things, which is why it's funny. Just so you know why it's funny. It's called irony. It's a different kind of humor. Not everybody understands it. Sarcasm, satire. What am I talking about? What are we doing here? We've got this front fender, and it's gonna go ba-cow right there, right? That's how we're gonna do it. You can go this way with it, but I think I wanna go this way with it. And I wanna go this way with it because we are also putting this on here. Now, this is a front rack, and this bracket goes way up. With these brakes, we run into problems. So there's two things we can do here. We can drill a big old hole right there and send this cable through and keep this bracket and have everything line up beautifully. That's what we gotta do. We're gonna try that. We're gonna try drilling a hole right there. You guys picking up what I'm putting down? You know, these things wanna be at the same height, and I don't want these things. So if this is there, then that's there. Oh, it's just not good. Got my bin of long 6mm bolts here. Oh man, it's threaded in the front. That means it's threaded in the back. That is cool. Oh boy. So, got 6mm bolt box. Here's a really shorty and black. We like that. There's medium and black. So these are also the same threads as brake boss bolts. Here's a silver one, short silver. I feel like there should be a little more something in there. Washer, spacer. We're gonna do both. We're gonna do washer, bracket, washer, frame. Now, I do think that I should be Loctiting these bolts. Does it need it? Probably not. But if I want everything to stay put on a 9-day tour, loaded and really pushed to the extreme, the blue Loctite, medium strength Loctite, I don't think would hurt. Okay, but that's good there. Here's a frame washer. It's a very slight concave washer, and this is very thin too. That can go there, but it's not the right profile. Actually, I think flat works. This gets tricky. Here's another one. I mean, that'll dig in a little bit, but that's probably okay. Okay, so this is as is. I'm just gonna throw that out of the way for a sec. It is hard to get a wrench on there with that fender flopping around. Very hard. Come on. Is this happening to me because I made fun of the butthurt alpha boys? I think so. Am I cross-threading it? This is my first time doing anything like this. That's not true. We know this can bolt right on there. We got that figured out. So we're gonna take it off and we're just gonna focus on the rack. Okay, so that can go down a little bit too. Although, I dropped everything. Ooh, stretching my back out. That's not so bad. Oh boy, I am old. Yeah, at the shoe store I went over, I was looking, I was like, oh, these are kind of nice. And they were all like Florsheim and Dockers, New Balance. Oh my God, I'm bumping my head. I'm like, oh man, these look, they could be really comfortable for my morning walks. What? You're not that old, are we, Andy? Mr. Quant? Okay, I wasn't cross-threaded. There was no karma for my comments. You made that part up. Okay, and I'm learning here that we're going like this, and then those stays line right up to my Mama Jammas that I put on there. That's pretty good. However, if we do that, that messes with our brake. Second of all, there's an awful lot of space there. This whole thing can come down, and then we solve that problem. This whole system can go above it. But it means reconfiguring this bracket. And this bracket, we've got a few inches, so if I cut this bracket there and drilled a new hole, we'd be good. Okay, let's do it. All right, I'm zooming in on the terrible idea machine here. Here, let's get that going that way, because then we can just spin this. Okay, so that is a terrible idea. Should we use the anvil section? And... Ow! 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 It's my first time using one of these terrible idea machines. That is a hardy piece of metal. I tell you what, you know, why spend all the extra money on Nito, fancy Japanese racks and stuff that cost 5 times as much? This is why. Because that is real hardware. I can't get that flat. Go in the other room for a sec, I'll be right back. That was easy. That is really hard metal. Okay. So that sucker's gonna come straight out. Ow! It's hot. Why? Be careful. That's not a very sharp bit. Good God. Lord in heaven. Well, let me know in the comments, what do you think? A Teflon-based lube? Was that a good idea to light that on fire? There it is. Why'd I have to buy the Japanese one? Man. Go ahead and send some super thanks so I can get some decent drill bits. And I don't know what else. What else do I need? What the Jesus. I'm just gonna break the reamer. That's what I'm afraid of. It's just gonna dull it. I mean, seriously, that drill bit is toast. I mean, it's got to get wider somehow. I should just go out to the intersection. You know, I'm right here on Main Street. Within about 3 seconds, I get a big pickup truck, a nice loud one. Just wave that guy down and have him come do this. Good God. What is this made of? The battery's dead. Finally, got it big enough. That was dumb. Everything about that was dumb. I didn't like any of it. We're just gonna go ahead and cross-thread this in here. Yeah, so those of you out there that send me messages or your local bike shop or whatever, and you're like, hey, I've got this old Trek and I'm restoring it. Can you do the work for me? This is why we're like, no. I mean, it's fine if it's just like tuning up your bike, you know? But when you're talking about all kinds of weird shit like what I'm getting into, we can't make any money on that. That's good stuff right there, though, I tell you what. I think I want a frame washer back there, though. Oh. Okay, so that's gonna have to come up just a little bit. I can do that. I can come up a little. And I mean, I could go underneath, but then we'd run into fender problems. mean, that's not off by much. And I think I've got enough cable down here to support the effort. Everything's changing. Biden lost, get over it. So we can come out that far with it, if we like. And then these are pretty much fully adjustable. Oh, of course, I've got 2 different size bolt heads now. I think I can go find a better bolt. I'm getting frustrated. You know, it's a lot of work for not much. We still got to figure this out. Let's make sure that this all goes smoothly first, huh? If I remember, there was not a lot of clearance with those tires either, so let's check that quick too. Yeah. That's not good. A couple of things to do here. One is you can cut the fender off back here and slide it up a little bit and just do full coverage in the back, and you can get away with it. You can cut it and then like fashion a bracket up here and slide the bracket in underneath, and then there's just like a little gap between the fork, you know, like the fender stops. You know, there's a couple things we can try to get this thing fendered. I'm liking the front rack situation here. Looks like it can bend down a bit. So we could actually just like, we could cut this fender and bolt it, use these bolts here, just space it, you know, but I don't think we can have the fender going underneath. I got it like 2 millimeters of clearance there. The thing is too, is if you don't have enough fender clearance to like clear the mud through, it just gets gummed up. That's no fun either. I mean, there's a spot that it works, but it's hitting. I mean, would you look at it though? Can you kind of tell what's up? I mean, that's a cool bike. It's a very cool bike. I'm into it, very into it. Everything I say, I'm gonna very say it. We are going to get this front rack just exactly perfect in its happy home. Get those brakes set just exactly perfect where they wanna be. And then I found these bolts that have a little bit of rust in the heads. It just looks like it matches. That's the benefit of having a rust colored bike. Anyway, if we get everything else set up, then we can get that fender to work. I just really like how the fender has that gold appeal to it, especially in the sunlight. It's gonna be great. And of course, I just ran out of sunlight here for any kind of test ride or whatever to finish this video. And I ain't gonna do it tomorrow because it's gonna be -30 wind chills tonight. It is so dumb living here, I tell you. The people are great, right? That's what they say, some of them. Anyway, once we get it all set up, we can figure out that fender. And I think I will cut it. I think I'm gonna cut it here and then take the front half and then make some spacers and bolt it to the rack and just have it in space. Probably get things pretty well covered that way. I mean, it's nice that we have threads on both sides. We don't have to make one bolt do it all. So So you have to take a step back and look at it. I think I'm gonna do that with it. Throw a basket on there. Man, that looks good. Looks really, really spectacular. I think the rear rack can come forward a bit. Maybe this comes up. You don't have the same angle that I do, but that looks good. Man, it's really easy to underestimate the amount of time these final accessorizing tweak parts of the build are. But this is the real fun stuff that you can always be changing stuff up. I have a cool bag for the seat, and then I know that there's matching basket bags for it. I used to have one, I sold it because I was like, when will I ever use that? Okay, so we're gonna get this down as far as it can go without touching. Let's just see what happens. How about right there? Oh, that's really close. We're gonna crank on it. There's really no room at all for this piggly wiggly tail back here. Whoa, there, yeah. All right, what size wrenches do I need? I need all sorts of sizes. Actually, I think I can use the screwdriver back here. Yeah, that loosens that up enough. 4mm anchor bolt, and we're just gonna max that sucker out as far as we can down here. Can you even see that? This is all we have to play with. I just don't have any straddle cables in my bins. I mean, I do, but just not decent ones. Not that these are even decent. They're kind of old and grungy, actually. So I should just order some new ones. I am a man of instant gratification. I don't know if you can tell that on your end of things, but I want it now. Yesterday. Man. I need that extra smidge. Oh, there's a whole bunch there. Look at all that extra. Where there's a will, there's a way. I'm gonna make a mark right there on the fender, and then like straight down from the other one. See if we can get that right. That's gonna be tough. I'm not exactly sure how to go about cutting this fender. This is what I've decided to start with. No, it's not very straight. That was awkward. I don't know, not too bad. Oh, wrong way. Good T-handle wrench is a better tool. That is really tight. Okay, you see that little gap there? Now, the wheel is going this way, right? So most everything is gonna go forward. So, you know, I marked this, here's my two, I'm gonna drill 2 holes in there, and then theoretically this will come all the way to the edge. I think I can just carve the middle out here, just, you know, just a little bit. And this will kind of, it won't meet perfectly. There'll still be a little bit of a gap, but all we got to do is kind of cut out, you know, I guess it's the steer tube kind of goes all the way through the fork to make this unicrown deal. And that's the problem, is it's right there is where it's rubbing. So I think that's what I'll do. Right in the middle. It really needs to be big enough for these and barely big enough. Okay, so that's a good start there. The second one's a little bit trickier. Here we are in my hardware section. The fenders come with these black spacers, and I think that's going to be just about perfect for the front. The thing is we need to find a couple of matching button head bolts for the top of the rack. They don't really need to be button head, but they need to be long enough to go all the way through. Okay, so we use a little bit of a washer there. Yeah, that's a little too long actually. This one's perfect. Let's go blow some minds. What do you say? Find ourselves a good washer. Oh man, I really like these nuts. These nuts. Fender install mock-up. Take 1. Okay, that's just about perfect, I think. Get that guy to go in there. Oh, I'm gonna need to take the wheel off. Spacer. Do I have the threads? Buddy. Oh, oh no, I got the clearance there. Just not quite enough. I need that longer bolt. Spacer. Fender. Fancy nut. Catch a thread. Come on, buddy. Okay. This is all very theoretical at this point. Oh man, it's like a millimeter. It's like pressure fit in there right now. I don't know if these wings are gonna work. Let's find out. Hot dog. You know, it's just, I mean, you could even like get some black Gorilla Tape and close that gap up. That's pretty good. So this is like pressure fit in there. I should take it off and just file away a smidge more to make that fit nice and good and just exactly perfect. But man, that is just really good. That's pretty amazing. You know what? Like, it's pressure fit in there. It's so close. You know, I just drilled a hole right through there. All I have to do is figure out that spacing. And is it 2 of them? I have a feeling it's 1.5. Yeah, it's 1.5. I don't know how you make a half one. You gotta grind it down or something, or you find something like that. All right, kids, let's cram this in there, which looks to be almost just exactly perfect. See if we can get that all the way through. I found a bolt and then I had to cut a little bit off. Ooh, I'm gonna run out of microphone battery here in a second, which sucks because I could probably finish this, but I'm gonna finish it tomorrow, I think. Tomorrow morning, come back down here. I'm ready for a break anyway. I mean, I can go to bed feeling really good about that. Maybe not. Yeah, so this is 1 spacer and this is 1.5 spacer. And unless you're really looking for it, you can't tell what's going on there. And then it's just this little bit of a gap. We'll get everything adjusted there. And then I'll cut a couple of pieces of black Gorilla Tape, kind of shimmy them up in there and slap them on there, and it'll be just perfect. And this is, looking at it from the underside, you can see just basically we had to get around this. It was a matter of millimeters, right? But we couldn't get this front fender to go over this lip. It had to be on the other side of it. It was just off by that much. But that's no rattle, no nothing. Get that dialed in. Maybe I'm a bike nerd, but that looks super cool to me. You know, that's just cool bike parts right there. It's just all metal, machined back in the day. You know, that's a handmade stem, TIG welded. Not very well, but hey, it's great. Handmade frame too, by the way. Big fork.